What are the Hawaii Overprint notes? What is the history behind them? What was their purpose? And what might they be worth today if I have one? On December 7th, 1941, the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service made a surprise military attack on the United States Naval Base at Pearl Harbor in what was then the U.S. territory of Hawaii. This attack killed more than 2,300 Americans. In the aftermath of this horrendous attack, President Roosevelt and other U.S. military leaders had concerns that a possible Japanese takeover of the Hawaiian Islands would give them access to large sums of U.S. currency. As a result, on January 10, 1942, the military governor of the Hawaii Territory, Delos Emmons, recalled all U.S. paper money, the only exceptions being $200 per individual and $500 per business that could be in possession at one time. This led to a stockpile of approximately $200 million in U.S. paper currency. The original intent to return this money to the U.S. was found to be a very difficult prospect logistically. The decision was then made to have the cash destroyed using a local crematorium. Fine meshes were placed atop the smokestacks to catch any unburnt scraps of cash so they could be recirculated back through the fire and ensure complete destruction. This process took much more time than expected, so large furnaces at a local sugar mill were requisitioned to speed up destruction. On June 25, 1942, 4 denominations of notes with Hawaii clearly printed on them were issued, and starting August 15, 1942, these would be the only paper currency that could be used in the Hawaii Territory without special permission. The U.S. intent was that in the case of a Japanese invasion of the islands, these notes would be easy to identify and would be immediately deemed worthless by the U.S. government. The first denomination was Series 1935A $1, with just over 35 million printed along with an additional 204,000 star notes. Next, a 1934 and 34 Series A $5 notes were produced. Less than 10 million of these were printed, along with an unknown number of star notes. A Series 1934A $10 note was also produced. Just over 10 million of these notes were printed, and like the $5 notes, an unknown number of star notes were printed as well. Finally, a Series 1934 and 1934A $20 note was produced. Just over 11 million were printed with an additional 54,500 star notes. In April 1946, the war had ended and the overprint notes were recalled. However, many were kept by some as collectibles and also by servicemen and women as souvenirs from their time at war. Alright, so now you know all about the Hawaii note, where it came from, why it came to be. But now if you're sitting there with one in your hand, you're probably thinking, is this thing valuable? How much is it worth? Well, here is some online listings of sold items. This will give you an idea of what stuff is recently sold for. And condition of the note and rarity are the keys to value. If your note is uncirculated, then it obviously has more value than a note that is folded or dirty, torn, wrinkled, that kind of thing. Now, you also want to look at the total notes printed. So far more $1 notes were printed than other denominations, so they're much more common and generally less valuable than 5s, 10s, or 20s. You also want to keep in mind that far less star notes were produced, so they have an increased premium among collectors. And you always want to check the notes for serial numbers that could be fancy note numbers, because these will obviously increase the value among collectors as well. Alright, so if you found this information educational or hopefully useful, then please check out our other videos. We have some on star notes and fancy notes. Thank you for watching Coins for Amateurs.